All right, and welcome back to Logan Simmons Photography. Great to have you here today. And today I want to talk about image enlargement. You've got a smaller image, you want to make it bigger for either printing or web, what have you. How can you do that? Well, we've looked at a number of programs in the past. In fact, Gigapixel from Topaz Labs, got the review up there for you. If you're on YouTube, you can click the card. There's a lot of different options. You can use separate programs, you can use Photoshop, what have you. Today I want to look at something a little bit different, and that is actually just using a website to do it for you. No program to install, no fuss, no mess. But before we do that, I want to make sure you're subscribed to the channels. Hit that subscribe button. It helps us out a lot so you can see when these great videos come out, and obviously helps us out with the YouTube algorithm and all that fun stuff there. In fact, if you like the video, hit that like button. Helps us out a lot too. So let me show you my computer here, and this is called let'senhance.io. You got the interface there. I can upload an image here, and I have the controls and how to make the enlargement over here. Now this is just a website. All you got to do is type in your web browser let'senhance.io, no apostrophe. That's not going to work. And there are some different options once you get there. You will have to sign up for an account, but there is a free option which allows for, I think, 6 images a month. Or if your needs are obviously more, they have some paid options as well. So looks fairly simple. You know, hey, what do you do? You have Photoshop installed. Let's go ahead and take a look at some images and see what we can do. Let me navigate to the folder. I think I'm going to have it upload these 2 images right here. I have a black and white film scan there, and then I have a DSLR color image right there. So I'll go ahead and hit open, and it's going to upload them there. And the way this works is any images you have right here, the enlargement process will be controlled for all of them right over here. So for example, if you wanted to have different settings for one image versus another, just upload them one at a time, process it, and then go to the next one. In this case, we're going to have the same settings for each image, which is fine. So you can see here, that's the input. These are the original pixels, the dimensions, how many megapixels it was, and output is what it's going to try and do here. So I think in our case here, I'm going to try something fairly standard. So I'm going to try a 4x. Which actually, is it going to let us do that? Let's see. The output resolution has exceeded the 256 megapixel limit of your plan. Well, I guess that's not going to work. Let's go to 2x then. But you can see that's over 10,000 by 6,000 pixels. It's a fairly large image. This is about it's about like I said, 17 megapixels and 12 megapixels there. So hey, we're making some progress here. So, and then here's algorithm. Now they have basically different ways of interpolating an image. Basically, software has to guess what pixels need to be created to make this image larger. It's not like Microsoft Paint anymore, when you enlarge an image and literally there's no computation going on, it just makes the pixels bigger. There's actually intelligence going on. It's trying to approximate what additional pixels might actually look like if they were actually there. So I'm going to go ahead and leave that to automatic photo. That's kind of their older version. Photo 2.0 is a new one. We're going to let auto do it there. And then color enhancement and tone. These just kind of make the images pop a little more. I'll go ahead and turn them on so we can see if these are any good there. So what I'll go ahead and do is I'm going to hit start processing here. And the cat has shown up. So sweetie, why don't you jump up there on the couch? There you go. And it just takes a second. She just knew it was coming the right time because it's going to take a minute or so for the images to process. So we'll go ahead and pet her on the head while we wait. And we'll come back in just 1 second with the processed images. All right, and we're back, and you can see I've got my 2 images right here. It did take a few minutes for them to process and be available. So I'm going to go ahead and hit download, and we'll download both of them right there, and we'll hit save file. And these are probably 20, 30, 40 megapixels depending there. And there we go. So they popped down there, a little thing popped up, and now they've been downloaded. So let's go into Adobe Bridge. And I think I'm going to go ahead and navigate over to my downloads folder. There we go. And now I'm going to go ahead and open up in Photoshop, and let's see what's happened here. All right, so there we go there. And here is, in our case, the enlarged image, and we've gone from a 12 megapixel image, up to something that's twice the size right there. So, pretty decent right here. I'm not seeing too many problems. I don't know, as far as tone, it doesn't look all that different to me, but definitely the enlargement is a decent thing. So let me go ahead now, and I'm going to open up the original file, and let's see what we can go ahead and do here. There we go, open that up in Bridge. And we'll kind of compare. There's where we started, there's where we ended up. So a nice improvement there, I think. But let's go ahead and see, exactly if we were to do this in Photoshop, would the results be similar? Is it really worth it to use Let's Enhance? Let's see. Just want to check. So it's about 18 by 28. Let's go ahead and round it up to 19 inches in height. I'm going to go ahead and let Photoshop do an enlargement for us. And over here next to resample, that's basically the intelligence that Adobe is going to use to enlarge the image. There's a whole lot of different options, some of them newer, some of them older. I'm going to leave it on automatic just to keep things simple. And then I'm going to say, let's go ahead and enlarge to the exact same file size that Let's Enhanced it for us. It's going to take a second for that to process here, but it should be a little bit faster than, yeah, there we go, than what was online. So, okay, so here is Photoshop's version of the enlargement. And then here's Let's Enhance. Let's just kind of compare back and forth. Definitely the Let's Enhance is a little bit sharper, but I suspect, let's go back to the Photoshop enlargement. If I went in here and just said sharpen, now, in fact, let's do maybe a couple of sharpens. Not the best way to sharpen, but it just works in a pinch. You know, I'm honestly not seeing that much of a difference. So, you know, hey, does it really do much? You know, compared to Photoshop, not so much. Let's try one more image and see if that makes any difference at all. I'm going to go ahead and close these out. And let's take a look at the other image we already, you know, downloaded there, which is that film scan right there. Let's go back to my downloads folder. We'll go ahead and find that and pull that up into Adobe Photoshop. And then again, of course, we'll go and find the original file and make those same things we did to the color image happen with the black and white. Let's go back to desktop, today's video, larger. There we go. Okay. So here's the toned image. Excuse me, the enlarge and tone. I don't really care for the toning, but let's go ahead and take a look at the particular enlargement. You know, hey, it's a black and white film scan. There is obviously grain here, but, you know, hey, it looks pretty decent there. In fact, let's see how big this is here. If we're looking at inches, it's 22 by 33 at 300 dpi. So let's go ahead and make the same adjustment there with the film, the original film scan. You can see there, let's go to 22 inches. And again, I'll leave the resampling at automatic just to make things easy for us. We'll hit OK. And it's going to take, you know, a few seconds for Photoshop to process that. But again, much faster than having to use that website and download it again. So let's say, there we go, didn't take too long at all. So let's go ahead and compare. So here's the Photoshop enlargement, and here is Let's Enhance. And to be honest, folks, are you seeing much of a difference? There's a slight difference in color because we hit that tone option on the website, but I honestly can't tell that much of a difference. You know, Adobe is doing quite a decent job here with this. So, gosh, I can't really complain. So let's go ahead and kind of wrap this up. We've compared Let's Enhance IO with Adobe Photoshop. And as well, if you want to take a look at Topaz Labs Gigapixel, that other program that I reviewed that does the image enlargement, I know we had that card earlier. I can't put another one up, but if you look down below, there'll be a link to that review that I did as well. But what's the difference, you know, between this? There's not a whole lot of advantage by using Let's Enhance IO. Now, I do remember Gigapixel doing, you know, a decently better job than Photoshop, so again, check that out. But I guess my verdict would be this. If you already have Adobe Photoshop, then I don't think there's much of a reason to use Let's Enhance IO. One thing I could think of is, let's say you don't have Photoshop, maybe you're a beginner, you don't want to invest in that kind of software at this point. You know, maybe Let's Enhance IO is a good option for you. Again, it's not going to cost you anything for those free 6 images per month, at least at present when we're recording this. That's the plan they offer. And you can always pay for more if you needed to, which would probably still be cheaper than paying for the full version of Photoshop. So I guess that would be what I'd say. If you've already got Photoshop, stick with it. If you want improvements in Photoshop, look at some other products like that Gigapixel product I mentioned. But if you don't have it, take a look at Let's Enhance. I think there's some stuff to be shown there that's decent. So anyway, that is my review here today. And again, make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Helps us out a lot. And hit that like button if you did like the video. Appreciate it a lot. Comment down below. Let me know what you think. Are there other products that you use? What do you do about image enlargement? What have you there? So that's today's show. That's today's video. And I appreciate you watching. You have a good one. Bye-bye.